no idea when these things actually start, so we will see how this goes. Anyway, I'm going to do a Steampunk World Fair wrap up today. So over the weekend, I was at this steampunk event called Steampunk World Fair. Pretty self-explanatory. It went from the 13th to the 15th. Right now I'm still in that like post-con haze. My throat's a little like scratchy. I just took a shower. It was very necessary. Not that I didn't bathe while I was there, but like the amount of, I have product in my hair, shit like that, it gets crunchy and gross and yeah, whatever. So, fantastically fun, as always. This year I actually had 40 teas I was bringing for my tea company, Solstice Brews, and I also had 5 paperbacks for the first time. Past couple years, the only paperback I've had is Airship, and while it does really well at steampunk events, it's kind of nice being like, look, I have other things too, because I mean, all this time I've been, producing other books, but they're all ebooks, so there's not much of a way to really promote that shit, in person at least. It's not like I'm going to be like, here, let me hand you the internet, and you can just do your thing there. So that was super awesome. I got to actually sign some autographs, which is always a really funny experience with me because I'm so fucking awkward. Half the time I forget. People ask me and I'm like, oh God. Like it's this most, the most shocking thing ever. But it's still a thing I'm adjusting to. I think I want to draw little kitties with the autograph right now. If I do more, that might not last because it takes time, but it was fun. Anyway, so the other thing I wanted to report in on was this was the second year I did a tea tasting for one of the catered ones for Steampunk World's Fair, and it went smashingly. I actually got to integrate my books in this one with Mad Libs. I always do on my Facebook the Mad Lib Mondays. And so I was like, well, shit, I can print out pages from my books and, people can fill them out while they're drinking their tea and trying all the different blends. So that went amazingly. I mean, I didn't have near the amount of nerves I did with this one as I did last year. Because last year, I don't know why, I thought it was going to be like a lecture or something, and I was supposed to lecture tea. And I mean, I know a fuck ton about tea, don't get me wrong, but like, I am not a lectury person. I'm not someone who's like, I don't, as much as I'm a tea geek and I have a lot of random knowledge with it, I don't like remember details on the spot a ton. I love researching things, but it doesn't always retain. I'm always cycling out information for new stuff. So, thankfully, it ended up being more like a hosting thing. So when the opportunity arose to do it this year, I was like, fuck yeah, I love hosting events, talking to people, having them drink my tea. This is great. I do it when I do like mini tea tastings at home with my friends so they can like, critique the tea and tell me what's good, bad, what doesn't work, what does. So this one went amazingly. I had the best fucking crew on the planet. My husband Rob was manning the stand, and he was a friggin' rock star this weekend. He was amazing and just like sold tons of tea and books and pimped my shit like crazy over at the stand. I have full confidence in him when I leave. Like I know even though I have 40 different varieties of tea, I know he's like able to kind of roll with the punches with that shit. And as for the tasting itself, I had a crew of helpers as well. I had Jada and Josh and Fesh helping me, and like everyone was in their perfect roles. Like Fesh was the one running and rinsing the stuff and getting everything like moving behind the scenes. Josh was the one like pretty much tending bar, but with tea, just brewing all the tea, and it was awesome. And then me and Jada did the rounds, like talking to people and pouring tea for them and discussing things. Everyone was fantastic and it went amazingly. So fingers crossed we'll be doing it next year again because I have an absolute blast with it. And so keep attention, guys, because I saved some of the Mad Libs. Some people gave me theirs, and I'm going to be reading them out loud so you can see the crazy things people came up with during this tea tasting. Like people fucking loved the tea. They were super stoked about like that it was from like that the Mad Libs were from books. It was such an awesome experience and I'm still kind of rolling on the high from the weekend. So it was an absolute blast and I can't wait for next year. All right, bye.